Hi everyone, Jean here. I promised that I would come back with my purchase, my eBay purchase of buttons. So I have to explain this to you a little bit. I don't know. I'm sure this has just been passed down from generations to me, but my mother always made clothes for me, and if we couldn't find the styles that we wanted, we would take one pattern with the sleeves and another pattern with the dress, and we would do all these things to come up with the dresses that I like. And she made me some beautiful clothes over the years, and even she made my wedding dress, which I just couldn't find one I liked. So I really wanted my mom to make my wedding dress, so she did. We struggled about sleeves and different things a couple times, but overall it was a beautiful wedding dress when it was finished. And so the story to that is my mother and I, we love all things that have to do with sewing. So we have quite a large stash of fabrics. We have trims, we have needles, we have buttons, we have elastics, all those things that you could ever want to make yourself a wardrobe. We have that. My mother did a lot of quilting in her younger years. She's now in August, I believe she's going to be 85. And so I'm blessed to still have her with me. And I had found this button lot on eBay, and I told her about it, and I said, I really, really would like to win that lot, but it's pretty expensive. So we looked at it and we decided that if we could win, we would go ahead and pay the asking price for the buttons. Now, when the seller displayed the buttons, she had them all in these square little plastic containers, open containers, I guess, that the lady had them in at the estate sale. So you could see very well what kind of buttons you were getting. Some were rhinestone, glass, Bakelite, metal. There's all kinds of things in here. But she said that she was going to not send the plastic containers, but put everything in little baggies. So my understanding of that was I would get what was in each tray in a separate little baggie. So when I got them, needless to say, they were stuffed in 3 large Ziploc bags, which I don't really have a problem with the way she packed them because they got here safe. But what I did have issue with is that when you have vintage buttons and you just dump them in a bag like that, some of them can become scratched, some of them can lose their little rhinestones. And we paid, I'm not going to tell you how much I paid, but I paid quite a bit for this button lot just based on what I could see. So I'm in kind of a situation now where I am looking through. Rhinestone buttons, first of all, are one of my favorites, or anything that has any type of inlays or anything in it, besides the standard mother of pearl. I should say that I really love buttons in general, but those are some of my favorites. So if I find rhinestone ones, I usually collect those. And if they're missing a stone, it's just a disappointment. So she didn't make the buyer aware in the listing that some of the rhinestone buttons were missing stones, and it's possible that because she just threw everything in these 3 large bags, that the buttons, some of the buttons could have become damaged. So I'm kind of torn at this point as to what I want to do about the listing. I certainly don't deserve the buttons for free or anything of that nature, but I think based on the amount that I paid, it would be nice to have her to offer to give me a discount or something of that nature, because I'm just really disappointed in that she just threw them in the bags. And so the ones that I saw on the listing, I've had to go through and pick out, and I'm very weird about smells. I mean, even when I go thrift shopping, if there's something I like, I have to smell it and make sure that it's something that doesn't smell like smoke or have any kind of weird smell to it. So these buttons came, and I waited to open them because I wanted my mom to share with me, because she was the one that inspired me to like buttons to begin with. And she also helped me buy them, so I wanted to share them with her so she could see what I got, and we were excited. There are some very, very beautiful buttons in this lot, but she made the comment that when she opened the bag, they smelled like the bag had been used before, which is very possible. I can't tell for sure, but I do know that there was a strange odor. Now that I have left the buttons out for a few hours, I'm not smelling that strange odor, so it's very possible that it did come from the bags themselves. But I wanted to, if anybody has any suggestions, I know eBay has seller protection, all that kind of thing. And like I said, I don't really think that it's fair that I get the buttons for free, but I didn't know if you all have ever had an experience like this. You could leave me a suggestion or whatever you think would be appropriate. I would appreciate that. But let me show you some of these buttons. I haven't decided if I'm going to do 1 or 2 videos on these, because like I said, I fixed those little felt containers. I have 2 containers here of buttons that I have to go through, and then there were a whole bunch of carded buttons over here that I have on the side as well. So let me show you some of these. And to me, buttons are like gems. They make me so happy, and I love them. And some of them I will use, some of them I will hoard, some of them I will put in my Ko-Fi shop. So if anybody is interested in getting some of these, I'm going to be listing some. I need to print up some cards so I can attach them. But it's interesting, several years ago, I had I've been collecting buttons since I was very young, but several years ago, I joined a button group so that you could kind of show buttons and they could tell you what they felt the value was, or what the quality of the button is, because you have glass, you have plastic, you have bone, you have some that are made out of nuts, you have mother of pearl, metal, rhinestone, plastic, all kinds of Bakelite, all kinds of button materials. And for the most part, I can identify what they are just from my use of buttons over the years. But when carding them, most of the cards that you get, depending on how old the button is, let me see if I can pull one out that's a little bit, that'll tell me the price of it. Okay, so this one was 79 cents. These three little wine colored buttons. They were sewn on. And then some of them years ago were actually stapled on. So what I had found out at that time, that in order to maintain the quality of the button, especially those with Bakelite shanks on them, the best thing to store them with or to attach them to the card with is telephone wire. And I thought that was kind of unusual, but it does make sense because telephone wires are covered in some type of plastic, and the metal doesn't affect the integrity of the shanks or anything. So I'm not going to bind mine with telephone wire, but I think those that are authentic button collectors, that's what they do now. And I'm just going to thread mine so that it's the ones that I'm going to put in journals, or the ones that I'm going to put in my coffee shop, I will probably just card them. But let me show you some of these. So these are really cute. Now I do the teeth test to determine if these are plastic or if they're glass. And these, when you look at them underneath, they do look like they're plastic, but they're these really cool. When I saw them the first time, I thought they were like raspberries, and then they have a built-in shank in the bottom, so those are really cool. And then what I said, I don't know if I'm going to put this in one or two videos, but we'll just go through some of these so you can see these. And I love the fact that I got more than one of the same kind, because if I'm designing for example, a set of cards, I might want to use the same button all on the same, all on each of the cards or the tags. So it's nice to have more than one. So these are really pretty. These are metal, and I love those. These also are metal, and these are a little bit older. Just I can tell by the way the shank is and the metal, and that it's tarnished. These are little, I'm not sure if you can see, but they're like vintage ladies with a hat on it. So that would be really cute for journal closure of some sort. Then you often find in button collections buttons like these. They're like little ball buttons, but they have rhinestones in them. Now on these, most of them, two of them are missing the rhinestones, but the other three are good. It's not unusual to find these where the rhinestones have fallen out. What I have done with some of these plastic ones is I've taken glitter glue and filled the hole. You have to do it a couple times because as the glitter glue dries, it'll sink in. But you can put enough glitter glue in here that you can mimic a rhinestone if you need to do that. So there's that one. I got a couple of these, and there may be more. And these, I'm not 100% sure, but they may be Bakelite, Bakelite or plastic, but they do have a shank that's a little different. These, I can't tell for sure. The shank sort of looks like plastic, so I'm not 100% on that. But I like that I got more than one of these because I think these are really pretty. Then I got these huge ones that I will probably be putting up in my shop. They are metal. They're rather heavy, but they're beautiful. And it looks like they're beaded because these are little glass beads around the side, and then you have one in the top. So I really like these, and I think they're very beautiful. So I may save one and put the other two in my shop. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these yet, but I will be putting some in my shop eventually. I also got, let me see if I can find the other one to this one. Some of them I set aside because I didn't want to lose them again. Oh, here they are. These are moonstone, and they are glass. So I really love these. These are beautiful, and they're in really good condition. So I was pleased with those. I also, now these are definitely Bakelite, and the way you can tell is that with Bakelite, usually the shank is added separately or attached separately, or the shank is plastic or built in. So these are definitely Bakelite buttons, and I have 3 of these, and I think there might be one more of these, but I haven't come across it yet. That was one of the things that frustrated me because they didn't come bagged separately. And I have to go hunt and search for the ones that I saw on the listing. And who knows even if I got all that were in the listing. So I'm just not going to think about that right now because it has frustrated me. These are really beautiful little glass buttons. They have kind of like little swirls on them, if you can see them. And I love these because there's a lot of them, and I love the burgundy color. So those are very beautiful. I also got some of these, and I think they are actually, I can't, they have a built-in shank, so they may be glass. They're either glass or metal. I think they're glass. They're really pretty. I loved the design of these. And they do say something on the back, but I can't read it. I don't have a magnifying glass handy, so I asked my husband if we had one, and he didn't think we did. So here is another example of a possible Bakelite button. These are interesting because of the yellow on the outside and then a metal center, although they do have a metal shank. So they say one of the ways that you can tell if something is Bakelite is to put it near a flame, and if it makes a certain odor, you can tell the difference between Bakelite and plastic, but I don't want to do that with any of my, I'm dangerous enough with a X-Acto knife. I don't want to start playing with matches. These are some interesting little metal buttons. I thought you could run ribbon through them, or, you know, do all kinds of things with these for closures. Closures are probably the easiest thing to do with buttons. These two are the same. Now this one has, I think, I don't know if that's an imperfection in it or a piece of black marker or a mark, but these are cute. I like the green. And then this one is very cool. It's kind of etched out. So I'm glad that I got some different colors than I've had before. I have some greens now, but not any that are really, you know, way out there. These are very cool metal. Now, they do have a little round center in them, but I can't tell if they were supposed to have had a rhinestone in there. I don't think they do, because there's not one. I'm not sure. Maybe. But even as they are without the rhinestone in them, there's actually something glistening in there. So maybe, yeah, I do see a rhinestone now. Okay, and when I hold them by the side. So those are really cute. I love these. And another thing that I've done with buttons that's really fun, these are two very interesting, I guess they're clovers. They're a different kind of material that I'm not familiar with. The shanks are rusted, so I would imagine these are older, and they do have some little gemstones in them here, you can see. As I was saying, one of the things that I've done with buttons before is I've made pillows, and I've made like a scene where I've used all different buttons as the flowers, and then stitched, hand stitched the stems, and that's really fun to do. And you can collect similar buttons for your garden. Like I made a gold one time, I made a silver one, and then one with just all different shapes. These are cool. They I don't know, I think these are they have a metal shank on them, but I think these are glass, and they're very they're cut really pretty. So those are great. And I do want to just put a little disclosure here. I'm not a button connoisseur, so I might get some of the materials incorrect, but from what I can tell, in looking at the button, I'll just make my best guess. If anybody wants to correct me, I'm fine with that. Just be nice. So these are also really pretty cut buttons, and they are also glass, and they've been around a little while because the backing of them, it's a built-in shank. So those are some of the backings coming off here, but those are really, really cool. And here we get to some funky ones. These are probably Bakelite. They have holes that go through, and she, I'm sure whoever she got these from at the estate sale had them strung together so you wouldn't lose the two matching ones. But these are really cool with the amber stone in them, and I'm glad that these came intact because they're so funky and cool. Here are some other ones, and these are plastic, but they're just cute little like bows or flowers, and I like the colors of those. And these are fun ones to use on projects for focal points. You can, if they're plastic, take some pliers and you can snip off the shank if you like. Or I have one certain project that I do periodically where I use a lot of shank buttons, so these would be perfect for that project. It's one of those ones that I've had ready to do a tutorial for and just haven't done it yet. This is an interesting rose button. I'm really not thinking these are really old, but they're pretty. Here are some other glass ones. These are quite cute. They have a little like 3 leaves right there and on that side, and the stripe. Just really adorable. I love these. These are also glass, and they are little look like kind of like shamrocks. So these will probably go in my store as well. And these I don't think are very old, but they're shiny and pretty, and I like these when I'm making something where I need some bling. And of course, I love anything that's black. So here's a couple extra of those oblong and round glass ones. I just can't get over these. These are so pretty. And I wish I could read what it says on the back, but I can't see it. I'm gonna have to get a magnifying glass so I can read the numbers on the back. So I might share some of those in my shop. These are just little plastic ones with rhinestones, not very old, but very cute the same. I love the texture on those. Here are some other glass ones, and these are really pretty. They have some swirls on them and then some cut glass pieces. Very beautiful. And these as well are quite pretty. The only thing I couldn't determine is whether or not these should have had rhinestones in them or not. These I really can't tell. They look hollow. So I'm thinking they would be okay to use just like this, or if, and they are glass, but I think you could do the glitter glue with these if you really wanted to. No big deal there. These are interesting. Let me cut these because I can't really tell what these are. Oh, they are buttons. Okay, I see. So they're buttons. They're just 3 metal loops, and then they're a metal shank on the back. Those are very cool. Those would make some really funky designs on something. So I love those, and I love the fact that there's 6 of them, so that if I want to do, like I said, several pieces that have the button as a similar element, I can do that. There's a couple other, these are little glass flowers. They are so cute. And just precious little tiny buttons with built-in shanks on the back. These are kind of, they're not really rhinestone, they're just glass. So there are those. Here's another set of black glass ones with the gold like filigree design on them, and those are really pretty. And here I'm not sure, I think these were probably And these are in, let me just check. These are in good condition as far as having all the stones. I believe these were probably little for collars. You could put these on the edge of the collar, each side, or they could be just a fancy button for the top. But they're really, really pretty, and they do have a shank, but the shank is, there's one on this side and one on this side. So I'm not sure, these could have been like I said, for a collar or for a focal piece at the top of your collar, at the top button, or maybe even on the sleeves. Those would be really pretty. There's a few other ones. These are really funky. They're like a double button, and they have like a marbling design on them. They do have a metal shank, so I would imagine they've been around for a little while. They're very cool. Can't tell if they're plastic or Bakelite. These I got, now this was an example of some that I saw online in the lot, and I think they got scratched up somewhat because they were dumped into the bag. But these are very cute. And these are glass, and I think that's metal right there. But they're really cool set of buttons, funky. This is I don't think a button. I think it's part of a brooch of some sort, but it is missing a rhinestone right here, which I'm bummed about that. Here's another pretty painted metal button, and it's really beautiful when you look at the edges of it. So that one is a favorite of mine. Unfortunately, I only think there's one of these. These are so adorable, and I love these. They're little crown buttons. Now some of the gold has come off, but aren't they adorable? So cute. Small buttons I like too, and I think, wow, these also, they're more of an amber color, a lighter amber color. These are also glass, and they are so pretty. I love the amber color of these. It almost reminds you of more like a beer color or something like that. These are quite interesting. They have some kind of interesting top on them, and then around the edges they have little rainbow rhinestones. Now these are ones that I wish came intact, but looks like there's only one that has all the rhinestones, and then some have fallen out of the other ones, so that's kind of disappointing. And like I said, I don't know whether that's the way they originally were or if they fell out. These are also metal buttons with a built-in shank, and these are rhinestone, and I can't tell from the little ones whether or not they are, all the big stones are there. I'm not sure about the little ones. This is, I'm trying to think of what this is. These are possibly I was going to say like either a collar thing or a cufflink, but it comes in a piece like this, and then it has two pieces like this, and I thought maybe they fit together, but I can't get them to fit together, so I'm not exactly sure what they are, but they're very interesting, and they are glass and metal. So those are very pretty. Here's just some old buttons. They may be military. I haven't had a chance to look up some of these, but some of the metal buttons, especially when you see the back with some oxidation or rust there, and you look at them, you can sometimes see that they're military. And these are old because of the safety pin design that's on there. So the rest are just a few little, this is a metal one. It actually does have all of its pieces. And I'm not sure what this was, but it's just round. I don't know if it's a cap off of another bead or what that might be, but you know, these little treasures that we find, we can always use in our art. This is a little gold one with a bow on it, really cute. And then these are just a couple stragglers that fell out. These are quite interesting, and I would imagine these are Bakelite, but they're missing the stones. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the ones with the missing stones. If anybody has any suggestions, let me know. I actually have I think a set of these that my aunt gave me, but they're gray instead of black, and these are missing some stones too. These are just a bunch of I think sweater clips or something. They came in that, and these are very, very heavy, and they're metal shank, but they have a horseshoe, and I think they're birds on there. So these may be worth a little bit of money. I'm not sure. I can't imagine they would have to go on a coat of some sort because they're very, very heavy. Okay, so, oh, okay, well, here are the buttons. Here are the buttons for, and this is the top of one, so maybe there's another one in there. Okay, so this one came apart somehow. You can see it there, it came apart. But whereas the others have like a burgundy colored inlay. So I'll have to check those out and see what's going on with those. Okay, and then here's, I'm pretty sure this is Bakelite. This is a 2-hold one. Usually Bakelite 2 will have some kind of etching or extra layering of, you know, they'll fuse 2 pieces together. So that's kind of an interesting button. And like I said, I have a ton more, but let me just, I've gone through these. Let me just, this is just a little piece of, I don't know, it was probably off of an end of a belt or something that was on a dress, maybe a cuff on, a shirt or something, but it just has little beads and sequins on it. So that was just an extra piece. And then some of these huge funky buttons that were probably used a lot in the 60s. I have a couple of those. So that's it for the loose ones that I'm going to show you today. And then I'm going to show you some of these that I got on paper. Now, not all of them are, you know, like super amazing buttons, but there are some that are really pretty, and you can tell that they're old because they either have this on the back or the price. Now this, for some reason, these were $1.10, and they're from New York, but this is like a little bit of an inlaid mother of pearl or something, so that's really pretty. These are just your standard black buttons. I taped this one together. These are some really pretty, I think, let me see the back. They may be glass or metal, or both, and they do have the rhinestones. Now there were some other ones of these that I got that didn't have the rhinestones, so I was kind of disappointed, but at least I got a few with rhinestones on them. Here's some square buttons. So it's, most of these are older, but not really anything super amazing. So I just, now these are really nice. These are kind of like clear on the outside, and my mom and I were talking about one time she sent a dress to the dry cleaners and they melted the buttons on her dress, and so a lot of the buttons that you get now that are plastic or made out of something else, I don't know what, they'll melt. These, they put guaranteed to wash and dry clean, so that means they were heat resistant. So they were probably made out of, this is either mother of pearl or something like that, and only 15 cents, so that means they have been around a while. These are very cool because the triangles are cut out, and I love those. These green ones are very cool. I love this color green. And La Mode was the choice of smart women for more than 85 years. And it says guaranteed washable, so we don't have to worry about those being damaged in the wash. These are washable. Here's just two metal ones, and nothing too special. Now you may look at these and think they're really not that great, but I love the retro design of these, how they have that little dip in the middle. Very cool. These, Bluebird is another brand of buttons, and these are heat resist, washable, and ironable, so they wouldn't melt in on anything. They have a built-in shank, so I'm not sure what these are made of, but probably not plastic. And look at these. Aren't these the most precious things you've ever seen? They are little tiny pink, like mother of pearl buttons, but they're probably for a baby's, like to button their dress in the back. These would be really cute for anyone that makes baby clothes or doll clothes. Some funky green. These have an interesting texture to them. Here's another pack of the little baby buttons, and these are just a light pink, and they're so pretty. Some of these are just kind of standard. Here's another Bluebird buttons. These are, I'm not sure if they're mother of pearl or glass, I can't tell. And then there's just some standard red ones. I thought these were cool. These pink ones. I love the squarish shape of them. And you could buy these at Woolworths for 44 cents. So what a deal. These are also really cute. I think they may be They're washable, but it doesn't say anything about heat. Yeah, they're glass. They're a frosted glass. So those are very cute. So here's some more standard ones. These I thought were pretty nice. They are kind of a designer silver one. And I like silver better sometimes than gold. Here's some more gold. Here's purple. These are very cool. So some of these that have already been put on cards, if the cards are in good condition, I may just leave them there, or I may recard them. I love this tag, how it says great name in pearl buttons. So I may copy some of these and use these. I know my friend Kim Newberg has some button cards in her coffee shop. These are really just wine colored buttons. Okay, so here's the other ones I was telling you about, but they are missing some of their rhinestones. Another set of these. Let me see if I can find anything else in here that's kind of unusual. These are kind of cool. They're I'm pretty sure they have flowers on them. I can't tell if there's a butterfly or not, but these are very cool, and I'm glad that there's 6 of them because I like those. Some other white ones, and let's see, cute little heart ones. Now these were from Walmart, so they can't be that old. These are cute. These just say Fashion Tone Special Value buttons. They're just plastic buttons, but one's missing a rhinestone right there. These are very pretty. Some of the mother of pearl buttons, you can dye them. So these are interesting how they come in small and then large, and I have 4 of each. So I'm happy about that. Here's another set of those that kind of look pearly. They're very pretty. They have the built-in shanks in the bottom. And then these are really funky. They're textured. I love that. They're probably a little bit older. They must have cut part of the button card off because I can't see how much they cost. These are just some standard black ones. So there were a whole bunch that came in on cards, and then a whole bunch more that I need to go through and pick out. Also, whoever the person was that saved these, she saved like every little packet that came off of her clothing that had a spare button and thread sometimes, or a spare packet of sequins or beads in case you would have to replace any of them. So I thought that was fun because I took all of the envelopes and the tickets and everything that I got, and I just put them here in this box. And I have a whole bunch of vintage button ephemera now that I can use. Some of them are written on, which is fine. Tags, pieces of leftover thread, or thread, extra thread. Some tags from clothing. So some price tags in here, all kinds of little envelopes. And I know just from watching a lot of, these are adorable. This one doesn't have a button on it, but I think I have one that does. They're round and they just have one little teeny button in the corner. And I thought they would make just adorable tags on a cluster or something. I wouldn't want to cover up the button, but seeing that, isn't that cute? So I know my friend Kim, is what I started to say, she would have a fit if I had thrown any of this out. So I'm saving it, and like I said, I will continue to go through the buttons, and I'll do a part 2 of this. But let me know what you think. If you're also a button person and you want to trade, or you know, if you're interested in any of the buttons that I have multiples of, just let me know and I'll upload them to my Ko-fi site. And I wanted to thank Kim because you know, she has always been such an artistic influence on me, but when I came across Kim Newberg and her channel, Images by Kim, I thought how exciting it was to reconnect with her. And she has given me a lot of ideas for new things to do and how to repurpose things that I already have, which has always been a quality of Kim. She's always been very ingenious and artistic in coming up with different ways to use common items that you might find in your kitchen, or you know, how to recycle things, and I love that. But what I started to say was, when I started to talk to her again, it was just like we had picked up where we left off, and I thought it was so nice that she mentioned to me the Ko-fi, I call it Ko-fi, but it's called Ko-fi Shop, Ko-fi, as a way to sell some of the things that you make and get some free images. And I was just really excited to learn about those things that I really didn't know, and some of her Facebook groups, because I've been wanting to get more involved and not really knowing how to do that, or wanting to commit to a big Etsy store. So I want to thank him for that. And you know, I always mention Terry and how encouraging she is with their comments. And I know Tina from, I think it's called Shabby Dabby Doodah. I think I got that right, Tina. But I just wanted to let her know that I've been watching some of her videos. She's so talented, and my heart goes out to her with some of the things that she's experiencing right now. It is very difficult when there are outside influences that affect your joy in doing what you want to do. So I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know her. I haven't watched her videos very much, but she seems to be a very amazing artist, and I hope everything looks up for her soon. The Hobby Hobbit, she's been very kind. Catherine, that is Kim's friend, messaged me, and I'm over 400 subscribers. So guys, when we hit 500, we're gonna do a really great giveaway. So please continue to share channels, like, subscribe, notification bell, all that. And it's really heartwarming for us as artists to see that people support us and enjoy our videos. So you guys have a great evening. I'm going to try to clean up this mess a little bit, and I'll be coming back again soon with the second part, maybe tomorrow even. We'll see. I have a physical therapy appointment in the morning. So I hope you all have a great evening, and I appreciate you visiting me here at Jean's Gems, and we'll see y'all later. Bye for now.